Hey guys, and welcome back to Serenity Valley. This is episode, I think, 28, and we are going to be doing some spraying on the grass fields that we just baled up and collected for our fermentation silos. We still have a bit of grass to collect over at field 32, which I think is the field. I think that's the number. Yep, field 32, which is over by the BGA. And I wanted to get this grass, I wanted to go ahead and get this grass sprayed and fertilized before tomorrow, which will be late summer, because we will be having a lot of harvesting to do in late summer, as well as a bunch of other things that we've got going on. Additionally, this is going to be the last time that we are going to use this New Holland sprayer. I was looking over the numbers and I realized that this sprayer is costing us close to $1,000 a day just to have it. And I realized that our beloved AR packs, that's the truck and the trailer combos that we use, has a sprayer that actually has greater capacity than this unit, has about the same spray spread as this unit, and is a heck of a lot cheaper per day. So in efforts to minimize our maintenance costs, we're going to are we stuck here? Let's see here. Can we narrow up our wheels? Oops. Let's see. Apparently every time I want to narrow my wheels, I end up closing the gate. So what we're going to do is we're going to empty this unit of fertilizer. No need to waste. And once we get this empty, we are going to go ahead and swap this out. We're going to sell this unit and acquire the sprayer module for our AR trucks. And we'll probably pick up a trailer. And we'll do the same thing with our fertilized spreader. That looks like that's costing us $200 a day, and we can get the exact same unit in an AR module that will basically just cost us $90 a day. So we're going to be saving some money there. So let me show you in the store what we're talking about. So our sprayer, where are we at here? So our sprayer here is costing us $790 a day. I'm sorry, I thought it was closer to $900. So $790 a day just to have this thing. And has a 36 meter working width, but only holds 6,000 liters of fertilizer. And it works at 7 miles per hour. Well, I can get basically the same thing right here. I've got this Amazon sprayer. It has a 24 meter working width, so it's a little narrower, but it works at 11 miles per hour, and it holds 20,000 liters of fertilizer. So I can hold a lot more fertilizer. I can fertilize faster, even though I'm fertilizing a little narrower width. It's only costing me $80 a day. So I'm saving over $700 a day just by not needing that particular sprayer. And then the same thing for our Breedle fertilized spreader. It has a 24 meter working width. It goes 13 miles an hour. It has a 22,000 liter capacity and only costs me $90 a day. Whereas the exact same spreader, 24 meter working width, 20,000 liter capacity, costs me $200 a day. So we're going to sell both of these units once we get emptied them out, and we are going to pick up some AR modules that will basically do the same thing and save us a fair amount of maintenance per day. Of course, we'll have to use the truck to do that application. We could buy a trailer, and we probably will buy a trailer. That's only going to cost us a little bit more per day. So we're going to go ahead and do that this episode before we roll into the night. We're up to 125 pigs now. And if we look over here, off in the distance, it's kind of hard to see, but we've got a fair number of bales over there. I think we put 3.5 semi-trailer loads of bales off of these two fields. So these two fields sure did turn out enough product to feed our sheep, probably for the duration of the time that we are going to have sheep. And I also just realized that tomorrow we are going to celebrate our 1-year anniversary here at Serenity Valley. We are working with 7-day game years, and I believe we started with late summer last year, so next game day will be late summer. So we are now celebrating our 1-year anniversary of Serenity Valley. And along that lines, I got a call from Tony. Tony's the guy that owns the sawmill that we've been so graciously allowed to take wood out of the forest behind the sawmill. And Tony is looking to diversify his business and actually move into a consumer product more than a commercial product. You know, right now he's basically runs the sawmill. The sawmill either they produce logs, which then gets sold on a train. But with the boom of the economy here at Serenity Valley, mostly thankful to our presence here. This town used to be what we call a bedroom community, where residents would basically live here. They would sleep here, and then in the morning everyone would pack up their cars and drive off to work in some other town or some other city. And pretty much the town had a few small shops, and that basically supported the houses as far as grocery store and just general convenience type things. But there really wasn't a lot of business. There really wasn't a lot of money being spent here in this town. Well, when we came in last year and we brought in those industries and we hired some local help, that really helped boost the local economy, and so much that other folks, we had the Castor Meat Processing Company move in recently. We're very excited to take our first load of pigs down to them tomorrow. And Tony down at the sawmill is actually going to get into the firewood starting business. Those logs that you can buy that basically are like pre-treated with lighter fluid, and they're basically like pressed wood chips into the logs. So basically he's going to get into that logging business, or the fire starting business, as well as the charcoal business for the summer charcoal and grilling. So he's looking to get into that, and Tony does not have the equipment to actually process and cut down trees and get them to the sawmill. His sole business has been reliant upon other people bringing him the raw materials, the tree logs, for him to further refine and process into lumber that is then sold. So Tony called me up and said that he wanted to get into this industry, and he wanted to know if we would partner with him and basically help supply his new business with the raw materials that it needs. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great, Tony. What's in it for me? And Tony's like, well, I'll give you a cut of everything that we sell. And I was like, well, that sounds cool. Is there anything else you need? And turns out there was. It's always another thing. So Tony's like, well, you know what? I don't have a truck to get my finished goods to the sell point. So I was like, oh, okay. So now you want me to bring you the raw materials, and now you want me to transport your finished goods for you. I was like, this sounds like I'm going to need a pretty big cut of profits here. And Tony agreed that indeed it sounded like without my help he would be out of business. So he has agreed to basically let us manage his business for him. He will take some money off the top, and basically for himself and for upkeep of the structure, and of course for the payroll. and we will be able to then collect a decent amount of money as a result of bringing him his raw materials. He needs logs for his charcoal product, and he needs wood chips for his fire logs, and then we will transport his pallet of finished goods to the local it's not really a farmer's market, but it's kind of an open air venue where we're actually going to be able to sell all the other products that we market. So we'll be able to sell our fruit there. We'll be able to sell our sugar, our dairy products. We could actually sell there also. So we've let the bakery know that that we will be kind of spreading the love, possibly with our finished goods. They will no longer be the sole procurer of our finished goods, and hopefully we're going to get into a bit of a price war between the bakery and this other market. So that's going to turn out great for us too. So I'm going to once we finish up here, we're going to run down to the to our logging facility where we've got our pallet factory and our cardboard factory. And we've got, if you remember, we dropped some logs down there to wood chip. So we've gone ahead and chipped up a load of logs, and we've got some logs already cut in our forestry area just behind the sawmill that we're going to pick up and deliver to Tony's new industry. I don't know what we're going to call it. I guess we'll call it the fire, log, and charcoal plant, and we're going to deliver that to him so he can start his crew can start work first thing in the morning, and we'll see how that works out for us. So we're just gonna speed this up and kick this sprayer into overdrive. Alright, so that finishes that field off. We're going to go ahead and fold up and go across the street here. But before we do that, I want to show you the bales that we got off of here. See if we can fit through here this time. So here's our load of, we actually had 4.5 loads of bales of hay off of this field. So there they are. So I think each one of these is 30, so that's 6, 12, 24, 30. So we got 30, 60, 90, 120, and 120, that's 140. 132 plus 6 is 138, 39, 40, 41. So we got about 141 bales off of those two fields. Actually 143, because we went ahead and used 2 of those for our sheep, if you remember. So let's make on our way across the way here. It's a little narrow coming through here. So we're also up to 106 cows. I think we started with 100 head of cattle. We've had a few births going on. So also off camera, we've went ahead and fully stocked up our pallet factories. We've fully stocked up our cardboard factory with finished goods. We've got all of our factories up here in our industrial park ready to go. We've got this fermenter up and running. We put about 140,000 liters of product into 120,000 liters or so of product into the silo, and that should be more than enough for our total mixed rations usage, which will allow us to focus the silos down at the BGA for silage sales. So we're going to go ahead and spray this field up while we're over here. Alright, so here we go. We're just gonna zoom out a little bit so it's easier to see. It's easier to fertilize when you can see the color change on the dirt. So we also went ahead and got Carl working over at field 34 to finish collecting the grass and putting that into the silos down at the BGA. We probably won't be able to get to fertilizing that field on camera because I think Carl's going to take a little bit too long to finish collecting that grass. But we'll just have to see. So until then, let's kick this thing up into high gear. So we are going to take this down to the BGA and see if we can't get Carol to spray this for us. I think Carl has moved far enough into the over on the field that we won't run into any problem going ahead and starting to spray this. And then we will move over here and pick up our truck and head on down to get the supplies we need to get that Tony's charcoal plant up and running. Let's get our screen back. I'm going to fertilize field 32. Well, if that's the case, we're going to probably have to leave this here then, because we're not done picking up grass. We better move this out of the way, just in case. And that should work. Looks like Carl's about done that field anyway. Jump that. Looks like we've got a load of fertilizer we need to deal with tomorrow. Alright, let's just leave that here and let's head on down to our wood processing facilities, where I know we've got a load of wood chips, and we'll take that to our the charcoal company, and then we'll have to come back and get our log trailer and go pick up some logs that we've got already cut down at the there's Carl making some of the last few runs on that field. Well, we missed our turn. We should probably turn on our headlights. So, I saw today that Seasons has been officially uploaded to the mods contest, so it will be coming out after the deadline, the submission deadline. There's already been a link posted over at the PCSG forums. Oh, we've already got a truck down here. Oh, well then maybe we'll just oops, we don't want to run into our chipper. Maybe we'll just bring both trailers down at the same time. So we'll just leave you here. Back you on in. So there's already been a link posted over at the PCSG site, basically the mod link once the submission deadline is done. So we are down to a matter of days. This is June 2nd, and the deadline for submissions is Sunday, June 4th. So this time next week, we may very well be participating in we may all very well have access to the Seasons mod that's been so eloquently done, wonderfully demonstrated by many YouTube folks, and is pretty much the envy of everyone, I think, to get their hands on it to try it out. So we will not be bringing Seasons into this map. The way I understand it is basically for Seasons to work, you really need to do a map reset from the start, and that's not something I want to necessarily do with 80 plus hours on this map. So we are going to do Seasons in the next map. So not really sure what the next map's going to be. I've got a little bit of an inkling, but we still have a fair amount of work to do here on Serenity Valley. So let's see here. Can we see the? We can't really see the production plant from here. Tony was telling me that we basically just need to pull on in to the main entrance here, and it's just off to our right as we pull on past. So let's see if we can find it in here. So we pull in here and it's off to our right. Oh, what's this? Is this it right here? This is new. I think this might be it. Let's get on out and take a look. Alright, so here it is. So we can see this takes wood chips and logs, and we get charcoal and fire logs out. Okay, so it looks like we put our wood chips in here and we put our logs right here. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. Alright, I took all of those. Whoa. Don't want to run into our other truck. Looks like we're going to take all of this load. Alright, so let's go see how well stocked this is. Oh my. This thing takes a lot of wood chips, and we've got 75% of our logs, so looks like we might have to bring down some more wood chips. So while we're over here, we might as well pick up some more logs that we've already got cut. Alright, so there's our loads. That's our logs that we've got already cut up. Let's just go ahead and take these back. Then we'll run back up there and see how we're doing with respect to our grass collection on field 32. Yep, our truck's back there. Guess we already passed the sawmill, so we won't be able to look back and see if see if they started production yet. think if we have some spare time, we might try to have a picnic over here at this nice little scenic overlook area, or scenic area. So we're just going to dump our logs right here, and we'll get somebody up to, we'll task somebody with the job of chipping those. Alrighty. We'll just leave that here. Let's turn off our truck here. See what's going on. It looks like he's still picking up, but it looks like it's toward the end of the field there. So let's just go ahead and pull on in there and check out things. So guys, I want to thank you for watching. If you like this video, please go ahead and click the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. We put out some pretty good content, I think, and we've got play series Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here for Serenity Valley. And we do a play series on Cherry Hills that comes out every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Looks like we have two more runs to do, and then we'll call this field done. So we will finish this field off camera. We will spray this field off camera, and we will make these purchases right now down at the shop before we close out. So I encourage you to check out the, if there's any mods that you see that you're interested in. I maintain a mods folder, or a mods sheet, a mods document more or less. Not a spreadsheet, it's not a folder, it's just a document where I have links to all of the mods that I use in this series. So if there's any mod that you're interested in that you're not sure where it came from, you can go ahead and check out my series, my document there, and you'll find it. So let's go ahead and buy this one. And we will buy this one. So let's get out and take a check. So this is the Breedle fertilizer spreader, just like the trailer one, except this one's on a AR frame. Okay, and then here is our sprayer, our Amazon sprayer, ready to rock and roll and replace our New Holland once we empty that. So in addition, there's now a version 5 of this map, and the map author has put in several industries and other things to do other than just farming. So I encourage you all to check this out, check that map out, that version of this map out, if Serenity Valley interests you, if you like the way the map is laid out and flows. I encourage you to check that out. Lastly, I want you to check out the 2 web communities. They're really great web communities. One is PCSG and the other is 3 Dudes Gaming Network. I've got links to both of those in my description below. So until next time, guys, happy farming.